Welcome to New Earth Activations with Raina. Get the light. Beautiful. Just breathe long, slow, deep breaths into your body. I caught the sun here just as it's setting. I don't know where this is, but I wanted to show it to you. This is what's left of those beautiful flowers that were in the ground. I don't know what happened to them, but somebody must have sprayed something, thinking that it was okay to spray a weed. It's not a weed. It was a beautiful living being that someone was brainwashed into thinking that it was a weed. Yeah. I haven't wanted to show myself because I never thought that I'd be looking this way. I, for one, can't tolerate it. So that's why I've kind of stayed out of the picture for most of my videos. It's really difficult for me to deal with. Still, I come on and show myself for just so you could see who I am. Just so you could see me. And then I step out and get you to focus on yourself. And I know that it's important to be present with you and to show yourself. But there's also incentive as to why others do show themselves and why others don't. And I'm sure you can figure out what that is. Because you can't look the other way, pretend like you don't know. But everything that I was asked to do, I never hesitated. I did it exactly when I was supposed to. But I feel the worst evil on the planet is when people go deliberately out of their way to hurt you financially and in every other way. And when I was asked to do something, I didn't say, okay, well, in divine timing, I'll do it. No, I didn't hesitate. I just went and did it immediately. But to be in the situation that I'm in financially is not fun. And it's really hard for me to show myself because of it. Because I like to take good care of what I've been given. And when I don't have the means to do that, how do you think that feels? How do you think that feels? And I just received a message now that it really didn't make much sense to me. And still here I am coming out here doing another video. But I'm not out here for there are people that I have watched that have, have been very good at it. And they've been very happy in how they have come out. But if it's kind of difficult when you have suffered to an extreme in every way, and yet you're still here. But I'm not here for just that. I care about this planet and I care what's happening to it. I care about the wildlife. I don't just look at them like, oh, they're dinner, their lunch, or they're for entertainment. I look at them like they're family, and I treat them as best I can, so that their life will be filled with joy because they chose to be present on the planet at the same time as I am. I couldn't live here without nature. I couldn't live here without the trees. I couldn't live here without the wildlife. I couldn't live here without the sun. I couldn't live here without the gardens. I couldn't live here without the water. I couldn't live here without any of that. And that's just a start. I didn't even have time to, I'm here today without any, I didn't color my lashes because I do that because they're blonde and you really they're not there. So, but I didn't even do that today. Not that I should be talking about that, but it's kind of hard to show myself being that I'm in the financial situation that I'm in. And I've tried so hard to get out of it for years. And I think I've been put in a very unfair financial situation for a long time now. I didn't try to take from another. I didn't organize a group of people to steal from anyone else. I didn't deliberately try to hurt or harm somebody. I just know that I'm not going to tolerate corruption of any kind. I can't be persuaded and I can't be bought to do something like that. I don't sell myself, and I'm not into that. I never was, never will be. And the ways that people will look down on. I don't want to do that. But I don't feel that that enough of us are doing all that we can to take care of this planet, to take care of the trees, to protect the wildlife, to keep them in the wild. And when I hear of an animal that's sick, or someone has a horse, like I heard today, and they had to put one down, and then they have another one that's sick, and I said, well, if you're feeding them dirty, filthy hay that's dusty, that's your problem. I can't even be in the same room with that dirty, filthy hay. That'll cause a severe asthma attack. And I said to him, well, what kind of hay are you feeding them? Is it organic? These are wild animals. They can't be eating food with pesticides. They come from the wild, therefore they only eat organic and drink the best water. You don't bring an animal home and then decide, oh, well, they're not worth it to eat good as you do, because you're only causing them harm. Animals from the wild eat only organic. There should be no such thing as pesticides. It doesn't do any good for anything. It's just a way of brainwashing you into thinking that you need that to keep the money coming. And when you look into everywhere you buy, where you consume, where you go to get your supplies, why don't you look a little further as to these companies that you buy from? Well, what do they do with the money? Are they cutting down trees to get it? Or are they protecting the environment? Are they protecting the wildlife? Are they buying up farmlands and then polluting it with a seed that only produces one crop a year? Why would you buy anything from anyone that isn't doing the right thing in that way? I'm speaking out for the nature, the wildlife, and for people, so that maybe they could see what they haven't seen before, or heard what they haven't heard before, or hear what they've ignored. Just because it's cheap doesn't mean you're getting a good deal. Now, there are those people that have been to hell and back, who didn't just survive growing up being poor. But when you did nothing to nobody, you only tried to help people, and then you've got a group of people trying to take everything from you, and then creating lies and crap and drama around it, just so that their secrets aren't exposed. It's a horrible thing to do to somebody. And if you think the universe doesn't know what you did, the universe knows and sees everything. So who are you in the dark behind closed doors? Who are you in the dark when you think nobody's looking? And what do you really hold in your heart for others, as well as yourself? And I've said this before, there is no savior. No one's going to come to save you, just like I had to learn. You have to be your own hero and save yourself. But you're not going to do that by listening to what's going on in your immediate surroundings. The only way you're going to do that is if you separate yourself from it and spend as much alone time in nature as you possibly can. And last year, I was on top of these sessions every single day. I did not miss a day. And many times I had put up more than 50, and 50 was the limit. And I kept going and going and going and going and going. And then this year, I said, well, I can't do this for free any longer. I mean, after you've lost all that you had, your money, your house, your car, and now it's just you. There's only so long you can get by on doing things for free and not getting paid for it before you have to find another way to have an income. That is not looked down upon. And what's looked down upon is if you're hurting or harming another or trying to take something from another that doesn't belong to you because you didn't work for it. Or sticking to untruths just to keep the money train from coming, just to prevent the money train from to keep going or not stopping from coming in. If you stood by and watched a bunch of people do this to others, and you did nothing and you said nothing, go within your heart and ask, would you want that done to you? And what do you think are going to be the consequences of you choosing to do something like that? I'm not afraid to say what I feel, because if I had the means, nature would be permanently protected. Also, when they had mentioned about the horse, I had started mentioning about how I cared for animals. And they didn't expect me to say something like that. But they were happy to receive the information. And someone else that spoke to me about it found a wild rabbit that she felt was domesticated under her house. And she wanted to take care of it because it was by itself. And she was really happy that she found me because she hasn't heard what I had to tell her. And she said, "You're really knowledgeable, thank you." And there's been people who said, "Yeah, you've helped me with this, and yeah, you helped me with that, and you did all this for me." And that makes me feel good because I've helped them for the better in the ways they needed it the most at the time. I do things a little differently than everybody else does because one thing I can't stand to hear is, "Oh, you copied me," or have someone stand up to me because someone said I copied them. I hate that. So when you see videos like this, you know that what they have to tell you you can feel it if it's truth. And never do I once talk down about anyone. Never am I sarcastic. But being a beyond extreme, super sensitive empath, I feel things at a level that most can't understand. And they don't know how to approach that or even know how to speak to one. Because I feel that the art of learning how to approach or speak to a super sensitive empath, very few can do. Because what they don't do is they don't feel their message before they send it to try to see how it's going to be received. I don't like to see a woodpecker drilling in the telephone pole to make a nest when there should be more than enough trees. And you're cutting down the trees, but where are the bird baths? Where are the bird feeders? Where are the bird houses? You're cutting down food source and homes for nature. And what are you putting in replace to take care of them? Oh, you're telling lies like they do around here. You're saying, there's an invasive species and we have to cut it down. And then what do you do in the end? They throw alcohol bottles, empty bottles and garbage on top of it so that it can't grow into a beautiful meadow again to feed the pollinators. That mindset is toxic and needs to go. I don't respect it. It's not to be admired. It's not a great example or role model. And it's a disgrace if you ask me. The Native American Indians came back when, back in the day when they were on TV, and when they were saying care for this planet. I don't know why the majority of people didn't listen or make that a priority. It's not just about going out there to have babies and families and keep doing the same old shit the same old way and not waking up to what's really going on. It's about stepping out of the world and mastering yourself. Because there's a whole lot you don't know. And a lot of people who are in certain industries like to tell me, oh, but I know about that because this is what I do. But then when I mention certain things to them, they're clueless as to what I'm talking about. But yet they want to look down upon me because of where I'm at financially and how I've been living because of it, or what was done to me. And animals, like they're not your slaves. If you can't treat them like family, you don't belong having them in your life. Trees and flowers, if you can't treat them with respect and love them, why are you on this planet? If you think everything is a weed, what the hell are you doing on earth? I'm not afraid to stand up to anyone or anything, especially if I feel that they're not if they're hurting or harming something else that they shouldn't be. Like if I see someone, whether it's a man or woman, talking disrespectfully to whoever they're with or their child, I won't tolerate that either. If I see garbage on the ground or in the water, I pick it up and throw it out. That ocean should be, every waterway should be crystal clear where you can see the bottom of it, and you could see all the fish in it. If not, then it's your responsibility to make sure that it is, especially if you have a boat or a houseboat or anything else like that in the water. And as far as I'm concerned, Monsanto should be sued by the entire world, and so should Bayer. And so should those who are involved with the chemtrails. And those that are not looking out for humanity's highest and best. Everyone should be suing the pants off those who created pesticides. Do you know what they've done in Cuba with the pesticides? And what about off the coast of Malibu in California with the oil? I feel that that's one accident too many, and oil drilling should be off limits to the entire world now. That's how pissed off I am about it. And all these people who've got millions and trillions from this, how do they carry themselves in the daily life? Are they a great example and a great role model to others? How many people take responsibility for themselves? And look at themselves in a way that others will see them, especially the younger generation. If they see you doing this and acting this way, and you're an influence on them, you want them to turn out just like you. Now, like I've said, everything I've been asked to do, I didn't hesitate. I did it exactly when I was supposed to. I kept my word and I stayed on top of it. I dedicated my life to spirituality and I kept my promise to God, the universe. But financially, I'm in a really difficult situation and have been for quite some time, and frankly, I'm sick and tired of it. No matter what I did, it didn't change it. And I'm beyond fed up with struggling financially now. And it doesn't make me feel good to show myself when I'm in this situation, a situation that I never once dreamt about or asked for. But because I was up against a bunch of thieves, I'm in this situation. And who has had my back throughout it all? Who stepped in my reality to even be a friend? Or to show me that they were different than everybody else? Who had my back no matter what? Even if they didn't understand what I was doing. You know who? Spirit. That's who. And today is 3/25/25. I think they did a song in the year 2525, which we have a long ways off, but I just thought it was, I didn't even know today was 3/25/25. So hopefully it's start of a wonderful life beyond that. But I don't know. If I had my way, this planet would be fully restored to her former glory, and no one that would cause it harm or try to take from her without showing her love and respecting, asking her if it's okay, would not even find their way here. Because like I said, I take care of what I have. And there's plenty of animals who can speak for me, and nature too. Because at times when they were cutting down trees where they shouldn't be, I went and replanted. guess this is going to mean it's the end of my session here because there are other people here and they're talking over me right now. They don't even know I'm here. They haven't even seen me here yet. So I'm going to end it here. If you have it, if you want me to do an energy reading, you can reach me at REINADHABSBURG@gmail.com. If you like to share or have a comment, you can reach me the same way. If you'd like to do a personal session or group session, you can email me about that too. And please like, share, and subscribe. The more people this reaches, the better. The priority here is to still the mind completely, to focus on your alignment and your vibration. And I'll end it here. We love and bless all humanity. We love and bless all creations. And I'll see you next time.